We live. We are live. Hey, everybody. Let me set up just a little bit. Take my drink out my hand. I'm always last minute with the audio and video. All right. Okay, IG. Let me just tell you, I'm only doing 15 minutes with you guys, and then I want you to head over to YouTube. So I'm just going to be here for a little bit to say hi, give you a little taste of what we're talking about. Make sure you have your hall pass. I got my hall pass. I'm a good student. I'm not going to tell you what's in it, but it's a hall pass. But I'm not going to pass out from it. So have your snacks, you know, your smoothie, your coffee, your tea, your wine. I got some cotton candy grapes. Wish they had seeds in them. And if you know you do a little puff or you chew your puffs, you know, bring that all in. All right, let's let a few people come in to the room. And just off the bat, let me just say, for our family that is in the Gulf Coast, namely Louisiana, Louisiana especially, our thoughts and our prayers are with you because Hurricane Ida looks like it is no joke, and it is heading toward Louisiana. And I'm from Texas. When Hurricane Katrina happened 16 years ago, this year, I remember I wasn't there, but a lot of people left New Orleans mainly and went to Houston. But a lot of people to this day still in Houston that came from Louisiana. So it was a really, now you don't get into it, but our hearts and our prayers are with you. Some of you know that I am a prepper, and if you stay prepared, you're not surprised. And this will definitely be a test into why you really do need to be prepping year-round. Okay, what's up, T-Survivor and the Crafty Homeschooler? Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know it's been a minute, but I'm going to catch you up on everything that I've been doing. Also, when you come into the chat or when you leave comments for the replay, please leave your state and city. I know a number of family, they've connected because they're in the same state. So you want to slowly build your tribe, and it's a lot easier when you have people that are at least in the same state, so you can kind of figure out the rules, the laws, things to do together. Okay, so let me take a bite of my grape and call out everybody. All right, we got Anja. Anja, you're in my backyard. You're in Carlsbad. We got Mississippi, Jessica from Mississippi, and Josie. Oh, that's right, Josie. She's Christchurch, New Zealand. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on down there, Josie. Actually, one of my homeschool mom swap box came from no, it came from Australia. Same difference. Y'all right next door to each other. Okay, we have KG Dillard from Elk Grove, Cali. Got another Cali girl in the house. All right, so we're going to start with my August homeschool update 2021. What's up, Mama Debnum? Mama Debnum, what's up, y'all? Okay, so hold on. Let me take a swig. So I'm going to break this video up into 4 parts because you guys know I'm long-winded, and I see that my connection is kind of shaky in here. So I'm going to talk about our curriculum, our schedule, my oldest son and what he's doing for his schooling, whether he's homeschooling or public schooling, and I'm going to talk about my command center, and not necessarily in that order. So let me get right into it. All right, so you guys know that I have a 5th grader, a 7th grader, and a 9th grader. So elementary, middle school, and high schooler. And I'm going to start with my high schooler. No, I'm going to start with my younger two. Okay, so for 5th grade, these are the classes, or this is the curriculum that we're using. Now, I don't have the curriculum with me. I'm going to make another video where I go over our curriculum choices for this school year, okay? Y'all know how I do. I get really detailed and everything. So I just want to bounce that out. And then, you know, I'm going to put a poll up, and then I'll ask you what you want to hear more about. So for my 5th grader, Y'all know I can't help myself with math. So we're using a kind of new math curriculum this year. What's up, Softer Side on IG? So I'm using a slightly different math curriculum this year, but this is the last time. It's the last time, I promise. It is Singapore math, but it's the dimensions version. And I love dimensions, y'all. I gotta tell you. Now, why did I switch? I have umpteenth videos on Singapore, the standards edition, which is still phenomenal. It's the original. The reason why I switched to dimensions was because I started looking forward years ahead for math. Now, for my oldest one, he just excelled through things very quickly. He was in pre-algebra in 5th grade, and I didn't know, I wasn't really paying attention to the higher level math curriculum. I was just kind of thrown into the AOPS, and we were going to go through that trajectory. So now that I had a chance to look at other curriculum, and I have 2 other different kids who are very different with math, I found something that I think would really work. So the reason why I switched to dimensions is because once you get to 6th grade, the regular Singapore primary mathematics ends, right? And then you go off into dimensions. And dimensions, once you finish that curriculum, you're ready to go straight into algebra 1, okay? Here's the thing. Now, dimensions is really similar to primary mathematics, just some adjustments. You know, I know a lot of it was made for the classroom, but there were some layouts and things like that that I really, really like. So what I decided to do, instead of doing primary mathematics until elementary and then switching to dimensions with the adjustments, I said, you know, let me just start dimensions 1 year earlier, and then we'll just write it out. Okay. Now, remember, my children have been doing Beast Academy the last 2 years. So we've gotten away from the Singapore way, which is the concrete pictorial abstract method. So they haven't done it in a while, although they grew up in it. So I said, let me just take that year to get them reacquainted with the Singapore way through dimensions, and then we'll just continue on with that line. And then once algebra 1 hits, we'll decide what we're going to do after that. So I hope that makes sense. Does anyone use Singapore dimensions? CKG says, we use dimensions. My husband and kids love it. We also use Beast Academy and 180 Days of Math. Yes. And remember, you can mix everything up. When I was in the public school, and I would always volunteer in my children's classes, I would look at all the worksheets that the teachers would hand out, and every other worksheet would have a different publisher on the bottom. Teachers pull, they, you know, especially the old teachers that they have like that old metal cabinet, file cabinet in the back with the rust and the indents and stuff like that, and some old stickers that won't all the way come off. They mix it. Look, I was all in our teacher stuff. I'm like, oh, what you got? Let me see. I can help you out. I can organize it. They pull from everywhere. So don't feel like you're all over the place. You might find one curriculum handles fractions very well. Another curriculum is good with multiplication or word problems. So mix and choose. So that's one change. We have switched to dimensions. So my 5th grader is using dimensions 5. My 7th grader is using dimension 6. Now, why is he not using dimension 7? Well, yeah, I know how I rock. I teach the child that's in front of me, and I want my child to have super solid, concrete, cracking volcano foundation. So again, we've been away from Singapore. So I wanted to give him, like, you know, a nice little appetizer, you know, entryway back into Singapore. Now we'll probably go through it fairly quickly, but I want him to go through it, and then we'll see how it goes. I anticipate that we'll probably start dimension 7 late 2nd semester, but who knows? We might not start until the summer or in the fall, and that's okay. All right, so that's for math. Okay. For let's see, what do we want to talk about next? Writing. Okay, so we are still, oh, hold on. My little Joanne's thing. I keep forgetting to set this so I can tell you ID that I'm ghost. So let me remember to put my serpent energy right here. Right here. Okay. So for writing, y'all know oh my gosh, okay. I cannot wait to make the next couple of videos. Y'all know I love writing and rhetoric, and that's what we are rocking with. So my 5th grader is using refutation and confirmation, or what is it? Refutation and confirmation. Y'all know what it is. 5, that's book 5. We skipped book 4, which is the Craya. We don't like that one. I did a video on that. My 7th grader is book 6, okay? So writing and rhetoric, that's published by Classical Academic Press. We're using book 5 and book 6. And I like to keep them kind of close together because it's, I don't know. I just kind of like for writing, my oldest one, he's really more on the creative side. And the younger one is more on he's more academic. He likes the formulaic kind of thing. So I kind of just keep them together because sometimes I can kind of teach them at the same time because, you know, one can kind of help the other and vice versa. So that's writing. Okay. Now, hold on. Oh, I got to get up for y'all. I meant to bring, I said I was going to bring stuff over because it turns into a curriculum review. Hold on. Let me step into my lie because I said I wasn't going to do this. Hold on. And guys, I got so many new books. I think I got 16, 20 books within the past 2 weeks. I'm going to share with y'all. All right. Now, I knew about this for the longest time, but I didn't buy it because I'm always buying curriculum. Y'all know how I roll. What's up, Adina Adventures? And hey, Katie D. Now, hold on. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Y'all talking. Okay, the Rambling Homemaker. Is that me? You talking about me? No, I'm kidding. We are using Rod and Staff for math, trying to get back to basics. Rod and Staff, if you want super rock solid basics, I found, if y'all can see part of my old homeschool room, it looks like a store with all the curriculum. Rod and I have found that religious-based curriculum don't play. Like you will, like my husband went to Catholic school from kinder to 12th grade. He went to a prep school in LA, one of the top, you know, little ritzy ones. And he has, you know, his mom kept some of the stuff. And let me tell you, like Marva Collins, they don't play with the very basics. It's almost like when you cook and the 5-star restaurants, the Michelin rated restaurants, you know, they might have 3 ingredients in the soup or in the souffle or whatever it is. They don't have all this stuff. It's very simple, very fresh, but very simple. And sometimes for us with curriculum, the very basics are like the very fresh ingredients. You don't need a lot. You just stay with it and, you know, you just bring the best out of it. And I found, although I've never used Rod and Staff, I do have 1 or 2 of their books. It is rock solid. It could be intensive, but when you want those basics, you can't go wrong with that. That's why they're very popular with a lot of religious households because they gonna educate your child. All right, let me move on. Jessica says, not anymore. My kid wasn't ready for dimensions, but she has done well with Beast Academy online. Yes, and listen, before when we first started with Beast Academy, I think in 3rd grade, we just used it as a supplement. And then we eventually brought it in more and more until it became the spine, the main curriculum, and not the supplement. So, you know, it's like jump rope, double dutch. You kind of get in, you kind of get out. So, you know, if your child's not ready, no problem. Put it on the shelf and then come back to it another day, another time. Okay, KG says, I ordered writing and rhetoric after watching one of your videos. I'm still waiting for it to arrive. I can't wait. Oh, KG. Oh, good. I'm so happy. Which book did you get? Because I did, one of my most popular videos is the Writing and Rhetoric book 1. And I actually show you our schedule, how we use it. And I haven't done it for the rest of the books, but I will do that. Because especially for book 3, watch out for book 3. You're going to need a supplement for that. Maybe that should be my next video. I might go, okay, I'll put a poll up. If not tonight, tomorrow. for book 2 is pretty easy, but book 3, you know, you got to supplement for that. All right, but this is what I got for Ashley says she likes writing and rhetoric. It's a very solid, great writing program. Now, moving from writing, do I want to say this right now? Okay, I'm not going to do a review on it. Don't ask me any questions because I'm going to do a separate video on this. Okay, what's up, Mekonga or Mekong? But I got editor-in-chief. I got beginning 1. Wait, I got 2. Why did I get 2? No, this is supposed to be the next version. Oh, man. All right. That's what I get for trying to buy stuff while I'm in the car, just rushing. Anyway, it's proofreading, and I love it. I love it. Now, Evan Moore has one called Proofreading, which is actually pretty good. But this one I like because your kids get to kind of correct mistakes other people are making, so they kind of feel like they're the editor-in-chief. But this is, to me, this is a grammar application. What do I mean by that? Well, look at the title. It says editor-in-chief. You know, you have for newspapers and magazines and things like that, you have the editor-in-chief who is the final buck stops here, right? And it says grammar disasters and punctuation faux pas. So what I like about this, now we use a very solid grammar program, well-ordered language. Actually, we use a couple. And Michael Clay Thompson's grammar, Grammartown. But a lot of times those are big picture approaches, and you do have exercises, but this is really active. You really get to put your chops on, assume an identity if you got the younger kids, and and really be active with it, like in a real world. So I like being able to give the whole picture approach, but then I really want something that I'm finding is more going to be a supplement where you can really apply it in a way that makes sense to your children. Okay. So, there you go. Oh, so Kay, you got the book 1. Oh, good. You need to watch my video on writing and rhetoric. Just type in writing and rhetoric. And I have 2 videos. I do a very comprehensive review over the whole book. And then the next video, I do a very comprehensive review on how to schedule the work. Because remember, my child was a reluctant writer, okay? Now, in the book, they give you, at the beginning, they give you a suggested pace to do the work, or a schedule, and it's a 4-day schedule. That didn't work for us. We needed all 5 days. And then I had to break it down because this is a curriculum, writing and rhetoric, that incorporates grammar, but their grammar is not really strong enough. It's just a little supplement. You would need to supplement with a regular grammar program, okay? So, and I talk about all of that in that video. So make sure, after the video, let me make a note. I'll try to link that video down in the comment section below. Hold on. Link, writing, rhetoric, video in description below. Okay, so I'll do that. Okay, so that's writing. And then for grammar, we're going to be using this, and we're going to be finishing up with well-ordered language. The end of 2 or 3, I can't remember, because everything has a number on it, and I can't even remember the color of the book. But don't worry, because I'm going to do the curriculum choices, and you'll see everything. We've already done Grammartown. My sons actually took a class on Grammartown. And so that's where we got. So I'll be doing more thorough reviews on that. So that's for grammar, okay? And then what else is next? I need to do what, reading? Okay, we're gonna do reading. See, Riza says, I also bought Writing and Rhetoric Fables because of your flip through video. Excited to use it this year. Oh, great. Guys, that is such a fun book. The first book. Listen, y'all know that book, and I said this in the video, that book is so good. I snatched my 6th grader. I think my oldest was in 6th grade. I snatched him from whatever book he was in, and I put him right back in book 1. That's how good it is. Let me tell you, you'll have so many real world connections. your child will be able to make connections left and right. And I noticed that within like 2 months. That's why I snatched my oldest one and said, hey, don't worry about the big one and fables on the cover. Think about the spirit of the book. And then we did the book, and he liked it. He loved the stories. He loved how he can tie it in to reality, and kids want that connection, and it was fabulous. So I'm glad that worked out for you. Anja says, I'm waiting for writing and rhetoric fable also. I'm gonna have to call writing and rhetoric and be like, look, you're gonna have to give me an affiliate or some kind of discounts that I can pass on to y'all, because it's a really great program. We started Dimensions Level 3 this year, and my son started complaining in Chapter 2 and asking to do Khan Academy instead. So we are doing both for now. Hey, you know what? I talked about we did well. Let me sidebar. I ain't forgot about you, IG. Y'all still got a whole bunch of time left. In the beginning of my homeschooling journey, I had a period where I didn't know when to stop using a curriculum, and how long to persevere, because I wanted to teach my children how to persevere through work that was hard or challenging or they didn't like, period. They could do it, but they just didn't like it. And it took me a while to kind of figure out the happy spots. And for me, my rule of thumb was, if I could see clearly that it was over my child's head, then we would stop. That would be my bad. I misjudged the curriculum. Maybe I didn't do a placement test, or I got caught up in the hype. And sometimes people hype things up, but they've only done like maybe a quarter of the curriculum, not the whole thing. So they're all gung-ho and happy and good about the quarter of the book, but then the rest of the book, it fizzles out. You got some cases like that. So one thing to ask when somebody is doing a review, ask them if they completed the whole curriculum, the whole book from cover to cover, because you'll find that they ain't done all of that, right? So just be mindful of that. But what I found is that if it's not obviously over their head, and it's just in a reach, it's not too difficult, I'm going to stick with it for 6 weeks, okay? Because to me, that gives enough time for them to kind of struggle with it. We'll go super slow though. Like, we'll do like a quarter of a page instead of a half of a page. We do 1 or 2 problems, or 1 or 2, whatever subject it is. So we'll go slow matrix version, super slow. That's what I did with writing and rhetoric. We went super slow, and we were able to finish it successfully. Well, with well-ordered language, the grammar, I was out before 6 weeks. And then I went back to it like a year later or 6 months later, because I didn't give my child enough time to kind of struggle, find a little bit success, and then build on that. So for you, Anja, and I don't mean to single you out, Dimensions Level 3, I don't know if you did a placement test to see which level is appropriate for your son. Chapter 2, when you're early on, it might be a layout issue. You might want to start checking, could it be the approach that Singapore uses, which is the concrete, where you're using manipulatives, and then the pictorial, where you're writing it out, and then the abstract, where you're doing like the equations. It could be that. So I would just close that book and just stick with the concrete part for a while, and then come back to the book. It just might be the book itself. Okay. So you can still look at the activities. I don't know if you have the teacher manual, the home instructor guide. You can look there for some activities. Oh my gosh, I think I have a video on Singapore 2. Is not that different from Dimensions. I think I have a video. I don't know if I made it public. I think I have a video on activities to do with manipulatives. Oh, let me double check. Because sometimes at that age, if your child is maybe in 2nd grade, I'm just guessing because you're doing Dimensions 2, your child doesn't have to be in 2nd grade. But at that stage, you really want to use a lot of those manipulatives, because you're really working on building that number sense, right? You really want to get that number sense very, very solid. And then, those algebraic concepts can kind of come in, but you want to get that number sense, you know, your place value and all of that. What was I going to write? Oh, Singapore to manips. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then I love Con. Actually, guys. Okay. Oh man, we got to do another live. In my free mega homeschool planner. Now, IG, you're gonna have to go over to my YouTube to download this. Wait a minute. I don't think I put it in the description. Okay, so you're gonna have to go to my YouTube channel. I made a video on this. Find that video. I think it's the last video, so you don't have to dig around. It's the last video, and then get this. So for Con, this is what you need to do, because I got Khan Academy. I've got Dreambox, iExcel. I got all kind of stuff. And you want to write down. You want to go ahead and set up those accounts, so you can start tracking and get those feedback. Get the feedback, okay? So here, website and password keeper. Don't sleep on these. Okay, go get everything signed up, especially if you have multiple children, and make sure you sign up to get those parent reports. They're really good. And so you can start tracking how your child is doing with Khan Academy, okay? And I need to do a video on, actually, I do have it written down to do Khan, the video on Khan. Because remember, in one video, I talked about how this one teacher in California, he took a bunch of 6th graders who were failing their California state test, and he went back to the basics, Khan Academy. He put those 6th graders in kindergarten Khan. They started there. They blew through it, and right around 3rd grade is when those potholes started appearing. And then they worked on it. And the reports that you get back from Khan really, really help. And then when the time came to test, remember, school year is 9 months. They scored above 6th grade level consistently. And that's how he made the news. And Sal, the owner of Khan Academy, reached out to him. I think he did a TED talk based on Sal telling him to do it. And then he showed how he did the lesson planning for it. So yeah, definitely get you an account on Khan. You can use it as a supplement or an assessment, or if you need to buy some time because you're working with some other kids, because you have your account set up, so you're not looking for, what am I going to have you do? You know, you already have it plugged in, ready to go, okay? All right, let me read these comments on IG. All right, Story says, I just found your YouTube channel a week or so ago, and I'm so happy to follow you on IG. Oh, thank you, Stories for Us Press. Mosey on over to YouTube and go ahead and join the family there as well, so you're covered. I got you. I knew what you meant. Hey, 7 Blessed Mama. It's good seeing you. All right, what else have we got? Hey, Danielle. Let's see. I'm planning on using Saxon as a spine, using the Robinson curriculum method and Beast Academy, and Singapore as supplement, writing and rhetoric, and IEW for writing. Now, you got a solid lineup right there, right? You got an all-star lineup. Now, you're using Saxon as a spine. I never heard of the Robinson curriculum method. I think I have, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to speak on that. And Beast. So I'm assuming you're using, okay, Beast and Singapore as a supplement. So you got 4 math balls going on. So Saxon is drastically different from Singapore, which is drastically different from Beast Academy. So I don't know if you're using each of those for a different topic. So if you're going to say, hey, for word problems, I'm going to use Singapore because they're the kings of word problems. For exponents, you know, doing exponents or ratios, I'm going to use Beast, or I'm just going to use Beast online. You're good. Robinson, don't remember. And then Sax will just be whatever. Then rock on. But what I would do, because you got a lot going on, I would look at, for Saxon, I would look at the first 3 weeks, the first 3 chapters or the first unit. And then from there, Now look, y'all need to be honest about what your kid knows, what your kid don't know if you haven't done a placement test, okay? And I have a video on placement tests. You don't want to be stabbing in the dark because you're just trying everything. I'm not saying that you are, Danielle. I'm just saying take your main spine, look at the first unit or at least the first 3 chapters, okay? And then look to see, okay, look at the first chapter, see what content they're using, and then look at all the problems, see how it's looking, and then go find the corresponding topic in Beast and in Singapore and do a comparison. You know, when you're going shopping and they have basic, premium, and deluxe, look and see which curriculum for that topic, say it's fractions, okay, Saxon, Singapore, Beast. Okay, which one is the basic, the deluxe, and the premium? And then choose the best one and go. Well, actually just choose between Singapore and Robinson and Beast. And then make sure you write down on those pages and everything in Sax. So when you're doing Saxon, I was about to say saxophone. When you're doing Saxon, you know, okay, after this page or after these problems, this problem set, excuse me, we're going to roll over to this book, okay? And they have all that stuff ready. Because let me tell you what's going to happen, because this happened to me. Because a lot of times I'm super organized, then I become unorganized. I don't know how it happens. It's parallel universe. And I would have stuff, I have the wrong page number. I write the page number from the home instructor guide and not the workbook, or I write it for the textbook. And it was a mess. So when you're using different curriculum or curricula, you got to be laser focused with how fast you're going to access the other materials, or make photocopies to just slide into the back of the book. Okay, make your life easier. Don't be like me and be a chicken running around with her head cut off. All right. Okay, Danielle, we're just starting a modified Robinson curriculum as well. Exactly the same issue, except using Writing with Ease just because it was available. Okay. All right. Writing with Ease, that is Susan Wise Bauer. That's a classical based curriculum. That's a very solid one. So that's another good one for writing. I used that when I first started homeschooling. That was the very first writing curriculum that we used. All right. Hey, Kimika, no worries. You're here. You're here. All right. Hey, Black homeschooler. All right. All right. Where was I? Okay, we did writing, we did math, we did grammar. What's next? Oh, reading. Okay. Y'all know I love the book Umbrella. And the book Umbrella, it is a company or a woman or a teacher, I don't know, on teacherspayteachers.com. And what time is it? How am I doing on time? Okay. Teacherspayteachers.com. It's called the book Umbrella. And I'm going to have a review on my favorite books, because I think I bought like 15 or 16 of them. Now, what the book Umbrella does, it does novel unit study guides, and they're very, very solid. So when you're looking at reading, you're thinking, well, you're just reading. You know, you're not just reading. You're doing reading comprehension. What does that entail? That sequencing, that's author's points of view, that inferences, that's comparing contrast. You have so many elements that come into play with reading. Then you're doing character analysis, all kinds of things like that. So, and that's what you're tested on when you're doing your standardized tests, whether it's the SATs or your LSATs, your LSATs for law school, and other graduate programs, graduate testing tests. Your reading comprehension is very, very key, in addition to vocabulary, but reading comprehension. Book Umbrella does such a thorough job on hitting all of those points for reading. Also, if you want a general approach to hitting all of those reading comprehension elements, I recommend Evan Moore Daily Reading Comprehension. Do I have one here? Let me see if I have one here. I've been trying to move a lot of curriculum up here so I can just grab it for you guys, but I have hundreds of books in here and I don't have any space for it. But anyway, so what Evermore does, let me see. Sometimes I have stuff hidden around here. If I can get to it. Nope, you're out of luck. Okay, next video. So what Evermore does at the beginning of the book, and a lot of good curriculum will do this at the beginning of the text, they'll have a scope and sequence. And what that means is they're going to sequence, they're going to show you all the things that they're going to cover in that book. And then the scope is how deep are they going. Okay, so sequence and scope. And for Evermore, it lists all the things. Doesn't mean that book covers it, but it's listing all the sequence, all the things that you would normally learn for reading comprehension. And then they'll show you the scope, like what they're going to be focusing on. But you'll see all like 10, 12, 15 different reading comprehension elements that you really want to become familiar with, and what you would look for when you're deciding on a novel unit study guide. I know it goes by different names, okay? So how did I get on that? Oh, reading. Okay, so for reading, we're doing two things. You know, I have assigned reading for my kids, and then I have their leisure reading. Well, not really their leisure reading, our read alouds, basically, okay? So the assigned reading is always one, a classic that is either a Newbery Award winner or honor, or even a Caldecott. Don't sleep on the Caldecott picture books, because those are great for mentor text, especially if you want to use those for teaching writing. That's a whole nother video. So usually it has to be on the Newbery list, which goes back to like 1929, like right after the Great Depression or something like that. And then the assigned reading is just where we'll just talk about things. They don't have to write anything down, okay? And usually that assigned reading comes from our history, because our history is literature based, which I'll be getting into in just a moment. Let me catch up on some of these questions. If you guys have any other comments, let me know. Okay, IG, I thought this was 15 minutes long. Apparently it might be an hour long, but I'm going to cut the live for IG. You guys come on over to YouTube. The link is in my bio, okay? And which is my YouTube channel is That Homeschool Life. It'll have my face on it, okay? So move on over there. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you for coming on for IG. Bye. Okay. YouTube. Download video. Share to IG. Okay. YouTube. Okay. Here we go. So reading. Okay. So I have a list of books. So I usually try to do 3 books a semester. Okay. So averaging 5 to 6 weeks for each book. You know, that's just a guideline. You know, we have, 18 weeks. Was it around 18 weeks? What a semester? 4 or 5. Yeah, give or take, you know, because, you know, we homeschool during the holidays. So I kind of count that as well. Now, before I would make my whole list. This time, you know, I'm giving more control to my kids. So what I did, I just pulled out a whole bunch of books from our library. I threw them on the counter. And actually, I think I put a picture up on Instagram where I let them choose their books. You know, they know how to look at books. They know how to look at the cover, read and interpret it. And on a sidebar, if your child is having a hard time looking at a picture and breaking that picture down, like what's really going on, I recommend, and I made a whole bunch of these. I should go put them on my store, called Picture of the Day. And what that is, you have a picture of the day each day. And I have all these wonderful sites where you get all these different kinds of pictures from every different discipline. And you look at these pictures and you just write about what you're seeing or what you're not seeing. It's phenomenal for critical thinking, really critical thinking. And if your child's not really able to write or hates to write, get them some kind of recorder on the phone or a tape recorder or whatever. It's amazing. But for the books, they would look at the books and read the back and then decide what book they wanted. So they looked at all the books and they made a stack of their top 4. And so that's on their bookshelf. And then they just picked the books that they wanted. Now, we're not tied to all the other books that they've chosen, but that's just, you know, where their spirit was at that time. So my youngest one, he's starting with Rules by Cynthia Lloyd Cynthia Lord, and he's having an amazing time with it. He knows the format with the book umbrella. It's nothing new to him. And now he's so familiar with how the questions are formed, okay? He knows, now it's just second nature. So reading comprehension, especially if you're doing writing and rhetoric, you're going to do a lot of reading comprehension, okay? After you read the beginning of a chapter in writing and rhetoric, you have your narration, right? The tell it back. And then they start to ask you about 4 or 5 comprehension questions. That ties in with the book umbrella. It helps them to really be detectives it helps them to be active readers. You want to be an active reader when you're reading a book. Where's that book? I have a book on how to read a book. Where's all my stuff? Hold on. I keep saying I'm going to redo my library. Hold on. Let me find it because I did see it. I have a book on how to read a book. I think it's by Mortimer something. Oh, dang it. Okay. Let me write this down. I guess I'm going to be going live for the next couple of days. It's how to read a book. Okay. They have a grown-up version and a kid version. You want to get that. All right. Let me catch up on some of these questions really quickly, these comments. Yes, vocabulary and speech. Have you looked into Get to the Root of It, Greek and Latin Root Words, Book 1 and 2 by Teacher Thrive? Get to the root of it. No. Let me check that out. I'm not going to buy it, but I'm going to just give it a little glance. Give it a little look. A little side eye. Get to the root of it. I'll check that out. And that is Teacher Thrive. Okay. I love it when you guys give me these suggestions because I just like discovering new things. Even if I don't use it, I can still look at it and then, pass on what I think about it to y'all. Oh, it's on Teachers Pay Teachers? It is? Girl, don't tell me that. I have over 550 things on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm out of control. Okay. Hey, Samantha from Michigan. Okay, we are doing assigned reading and teaching the classics. I'll have to check out Book Umbrella. Yes, check it out. You will not be disappointed, especially if you have additional kids. You can get more bang for your buck. Okay. What's next? I would recommend the Evan Moore Teacher File Box. Yep, it's online. You can access all of the Evan Moore content for $99 a year instead of paying $15 to $25 a book. Yes, Evan Moore is pricey. Those books are pricey. Now, what is that? I got a little source. No, I used to have Teacher File Box and I printed so much stuff. But you can also get a lot of Evan Moore stuff on eBay. A lot of parents buy it, don't use it, or they do the first week or first 2 in pencil. Just erase that mug, and you got basically a brand new book at half the price. But what KG said is true. If you're really into Evan Moore, and we use a lot of Evan Moore, it is worth it to get the Teacher File Box. Unless you just like to hold something in your hand, which is me, then you can find ways of getting it, cheaper. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're caught up. All right, so reading. So, and then, okay, so I think, so he grabbed Rules, the mixed up files of Basil, something I forget. And then he got, what else did he choose? The Island of the Blue Dolphin and Esperanza Rising. Now, my son who's in 5th grade, last year we were going to do California history, right? Because that's our state. But everything in shutdown city, California, was closed. And for my kids, I always take them to the missions all up and down California. So we couldn't do that. Everything was closed. So now that everything's open, we have to quickly get in before things, what is that? Change again? Oh, I thought something was crawling on me. It's my sweat. This fan is working, but I have it blowing in the wrong direction. So we are, so I grabbed a couple books that focus on California, and that's, Esperanza Rising. And there's another one. There's actually 3 books we got. I can't remember the others, but that'll be my video review on our curriculum. And then for 7th grade, we've got, dang, I can't remember a single book he grabbed. I don't even remember, y'all. I'm sorry. It'll be in the next video, I promise. But 4 books, okay, for the semester. And no, 3 for the semester. And then we'll see how that goes. So, so that's really all I got for reading. Now, for the novel unit study guides, the book umbrella caps out or stops at 6th grade. It doesn't matter. Those books are classic. But we've read a lot of them. So I moved them on to Stacy Lloyd. And you guys know I love Stacy Lloyd. I have a video on Stacy Lloyd. And I think I have it under high school literature or something like that. But you'll see me holding up like it looks like a printed out novel unit study guide. So you guys can go look for that. Dang, I can't remember what books he grabbed. All right, so toward the end, if you guys, for the diehards, if you want me to run to his room and grab the books off his shelf toward the end of this video, I'll do that. So, because I'm drawing a blank. All right, let me go on. Let me catch it with this. Okay, so that's reading. So remember, assigned reading, and then our novel unit study guides. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so for the assigned reading, we do it based off of history. Now, remember, I had intentions of doing history from the 1920s and the 1930s, because that, y'all, all around the world, it was a lot going down in the 1920s and the 1930s. It's a fun, well, not always fun, but it's an interesting time, and a lot of books were published during those times, So we're not doing that because, and this takes me to one of the changes for homeschool. My 9th grader, he's in public school, y'all. He's in public school. My baby, I had to let him go. Y'all, I think one of my previous videos, I said that, he was being recruited by the football coach and the track coach, and all this summer he was doing camp, and then he was on the team the last 2 weeks before they took from the camp, and then people that were on the team that made the team, he was already on the team, and then they started school on the 18th of August. And so we had a plan. So we're like, hey, you get in there, make your football friends, make friends with other students, get plugged in, and then we're out at the end of football season, which is only 6 games because of the hokey pokey and stuff like that. They're not having a full season. A lot of schools, their teams aren't having a full season of anything, so it's only 6 games. Oh, dude, we're out. That's 6 weeks. Dude, we could do that on our head. Then he comes home. Wow, I love my biology teacher. He's so funny, and I'm just laughing all the time. Then he comes home another day. He's got like 3 of his football buddies in class, and they're just having fun. And then in Spanish, he loves his teacher. He's like, I'm like, how is this that every class? And then, oh, here's the thing. He's supposed to be in pre-calculus this year for 9th grade. Now, remember, for those of you who are thinking of sending your child to public school, no public school is required to accept any of your credits. They didn't accept any of our credits. I had a fight just to get him in geometry because I'm like, we're not going to the school. And they're okay, we'll put him in geometry. They only have 2 tracks, regular and honors. So honors plus geometry. So they put him in that. So because it's so easy, he's like breezing through it. He's finishing all his stuff during like the study hall. So that lightened his load a lot. So right now he's in a sweet spot. He has teachers that are really personable. He's got all his football buddies, and he's having a great time. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm like, I hope we're done in 6 weeks, but he's having a good time. So we'll see. But anyway, we were going to do the 1920s and the 1930s. But my son comes home. He's like, Mom, I'm going to need y'all to wait on history for me. I was like, okay, we can wait 6 weeks. But that was the first time. And then he was like, I might want to stay longer because I really like my teachers. So I'm like, oh, dude, in my mind, I'm like, oh, great, honey, that's great. I'm so happy that you're loving your teachers. You're having an amazing time. Totally going to support you there. So, so we're not doing the 1920s, the 1930s. But I knew, because I'm a daughter of a Marine, I got plan A, B, C, and Z in 1A Delta. So we're back to Book Shark, and we're going to be using Eastern Hemisphere. Why? Well, with Eastern Hemisphere, you're going to be covering all of the Eastern Hemisphere, all the parts that you don't study in your history class in public schools. But as we're reading that, they have a really strong book list. I'm going to plug in our books from the 1920s and the 1930s, and I already got 2. So I can still at least do the 1920s and 30s, the Eastern Hemisphere edition. And then toward the end of the semester or the year, I can try to find something for South America, Australia. I might not go on there, but at least the other areas. I got time to get resources for that. And then, you know, who knows what goes on with my son? They might shut down the schools. He might be home next week. You never know. So I've been planning for that. So in the meantime, as a book holder, we are using Eastern Hemisphere Book Shark, and I will have a review on that. I love the program. My oldest son did that a couple of years ago. It is thorough. Some things I have to like, you know, but hey, that's anyone's perspective of history. Make it a talking point, okay? And then do a rabbit hole with, if you have an issue with something that's presented, use that as a learning point. That's exactly what we do. That's why we don't always finish something within the school year, because we take it a step further. So for history, we're using Book Shark, Eastern Hemisphere, which I believe is book 5. I think they changed it to letters now. So I think it's F. It's level F or level E. It's Eastern Hemisphere. So look for that. I will be doing a review. When I do the curriculum review, I'll have everything to show you guys. So that's what we're doing for history. And that's where our assigned readings will come. Now remember, Book Shark's got a gang of books. They got a lot of books. So I'll be swapping in and out some of the stuff that I want to bring in, because I know I have all the books from my oldest son. So to recap, math, Singapore Dimensions 5 and 6. English, writing and rhetoric, books 5 and 6. Some critical thinking company with grammar, and then finishing up well-ordered language grammar. What else? Reading, not the book umbrella, novel unit guides, and assigned reading from their history curriculum. For history, Book Shark, Eastern Hemisphere, level F or level E, one or the other. You'll be able to find it. And science. Oh, and then for science, we're doing biology. We are using Guest Hollow's biology, just because I plan to have all my kids together so we can, you know, do our stuff together, and it's not. So we're going to be doing biology. We have an outside class for like little labs. That's why we're doing biology, because I kind of wanted to finish up with like the next level of chemistry from Ellen McHenry, the carbon one. But I wanted to take advantage of a class, so we're doing biology. We are not using a set curriculum just yet, like there's no textbook, because as you know, with Guest Hollow, it's just a whole bunch of books. So, and I like that approach to biology anyway. For logic, the middle child, honestly, I don't think we're going to have time this semester, because we have a lot of reading to do with history. So I'm not sure. And quite honestly, with my son, with all the running around with public school and stuff that he's doing, I kind of don't want to do too much stuff, because I just want to kind of see how the next 6 weeks go. And then if I feel like, okay, everything's going to kind of stay this way, then I'll bring in logic. I have a new book on logic, which I actually really, really like. Am I missing anything, guys? I picked up, Jessica says, I picked up 2 new books, sentence composing. Oh, yes, Kilgallen. Yes, I have the sentence composing for elementary school, and he's got the paragraph composing for middle school. We use both of those. We use so much. Actually, I was going through a lot of curriculum, and I pulled out like the 4 square method. I used that with my oldest one. Just a lot of great ways of learning, writing and just it's a lot of good stuff. But sentence composing, I thought I did a video on that. I'm gonna double check. I've actually recorded a lot of videos, I just never uploaded. But sentence composing, because I think I did that, and then I also talked about the outlining, but that could be just in my mind. Yeah, but we like Kilgallen. All right. Okay, I'm caught up. Mindset Mathematics Level 3. I have not heard of Mindset Mathematics Level 3. What is that? When you put mindset and mathematics together, I love it. Is that a curriculum? Now, I know there's Mathematical Mindsets by Joe Bowler from Stanford University. Mindset Mathematics. But this sounds like a curriculum. Mindset Mathematics Level 3. Yeah, Jessica, what is that on? Is that something on TPT? Oh, so listen, for math, for those who have middle schoolers and high schoolers, I highly, highly recommend All Things Algebra, but she does more than just algebra. But when she started doing this, she was focused on algebra. Her name is Gina. All Things Algebra, and I'm doing a review on her. She has the most amazing, the most well-organized, the most thorough curriculum for pre-algebra all the way up to, I think she does trig. No, I think she does calc. I think she goes up to calculus. I don't know. I love all of her stuff. It is so, and it's challenging too. Excuse me. Wait, I was writing something down. Oh, All Things Algebra. I have to do a video on that. Because I find one reason why a lot of parents don't want to teach middle school or high school that math. Don't front. Y'all know y'all struggle, and that's fine. There are lots of resources out there where you can, if not successfully teach it yourself, outsource it. And with Gina's work, she's got so much help out there. Or you can always get a really low price tutor on OutSchool and have them work with Gina's material. But it is good and challenging. You will have your child will have a very solid background. And she makes it fun too. She incorporates the fun into it. And I love her layouts. I know I'm a visual design lover. That's part of my background because, I have a master's in curriculum design and course development. So I'm very in tune to universal principle design. And I love the layout of her work, like Stacy Lloyd. It's the layout that draws you in. It's like a dish and it's got a little sprinkles on top and, maybe a little chocolate shavings here and a little whipped cream and little designs on the side of the plate. It's all presentation and that draws you in, right? But it got to taste good though. But her stuff tastes good. It's very, very good. So check that out. All Things Algebra. Am I missing anything, guys? What am I missing? Did I cover everything? I'm sure, well, those are just like your basic subjects, but I'll pick up whatever else, if I forgot anything in the curriculum review coming up, okay? So, and that's going to be, I'm just going to hit those out. I'm just going to focus on one grade level because, things get really long. So I'll just focus on one grade level and I'll just go back to back to back, okay? That way it's easier for you guys to get the information and not have to watch a long, I'm going to get you sucker long video, all right? Because I still haven't put chapters up. So whenever I get to that, I don't know. So anyway, any questions before I get out of here? It is 59 minutes into our program. Thank you for the likes and the hearts, guys. Thank you so much. I didn't even have to beg for them. Any books and resources specifically for fractions? Girl, I just saw, let me show you, I'm not even lying. I just saw, I deleted the listing. I just sold 4 manipulatives. Oh, I'm still on IG. I have to upload everything. I don't know if I can get out of this. I'm making it just for you, Jessica. I'm making the video on fractions. That's going to be easy. But darn it, I sold 4 manipulatives. I had fraction bingo, fraction lace-ups, and fraction puzzles. But I still have more fraction manipulatives. Books, the Sir Arthur circumference books. I think it's Sir Arthur conference or circumference books. It's a line of books that just deal with math in a story form, and fractions is a good one. What's his name? He did the Grapes of Math. He does one on fractions. And then Life of Fred. Oh my God, how can we forget the Life of Fred? It's got fractions. Oh, so I'm just totally, let me just write some of those down. So I got you covered for fractions. Life of Fred, circumference. Now, one of my favorite for your grade level, for your child's grade level, Jessica, is go on to TPT and Annie Moffat. Her company is the Moffat Girls, Moffat. A lot of you are familiar with her. She makes wonderful math curriculum. It's not really curriculum, but just a lot of lesson plans for fractions. She has a wonderful layout. It's so organized. You will be in hog's heaven. As a matter of fact, I have all of them. I'll pull those up. Moffat Girls. Okay, Moffat Girls. Yeah, so you have a lot of books. You have a lot of resources. And what you can do like a trifecta, if you will. Have the manipulatives for your child to play with. Take the pressure off. And then throw in a little Moffat little worksheet here and there. And then at night, read those books I was telling you about because they're story-based. So now your child just has constant exposure. And I would do all this before you even break open the textbook. Prep them, you gotta, just like, when you're dating and stuff like that, the first 20 days, the first month, you're on your best behavior and everything, you shave, you put makeup on, and, you do all the stuff. And then after a while, you start slacking. But yeah, just do all that stuff before you even open the textbook and just have fun with it. Cuddle together. 3rd grade, that's a nice age. Cuddle together or sit together, and just explore the wonderful world of fractions. I would definitely do that. So yeah, there are lots of resources for that. Fractions is my forte because I'm always giving examples based on fractions. Because fractions scarred me when I was growing up. I was not going to have that happen with my kids. All right, any tips on helping a 3rd grader learn more independently? I am also teaching kinder, and it's all hands-on, of course. So I'm struggling a bit with dividing my time helping both kids. Okay, so it's an old video that I need to update, but I have a video on how to teach multiple kids without losing your mind, something like that. Now, for independence, you got to build your tool chest, okay? These are rock solid things that you know where they are. You know how to use it. You have the account and the password, all of that stuff. When you have all of those things on lock, you're good to go. And after you do that, you want to have at least 3 different varieties of things to help them begin and maintain that independence, okay? And some of those things will either be multimedia, games. Watch my video on game schooling. That was a massive video. I think it was 2 hours long. I give you so many things you can do where the child can either work independently by him or herself or with a sibling or with you, okay? All you need is like 3 different things, okay? And why I say 3 different things, you want something that can make them work independently for a couple of minutes. Say up to 5 minutes. Something that gives them 10 minutes. Because at that age, 10, 15, 20 minutes max is all you really gonna get, unless it's a video game. But realistically, a good solid 20 minutes broken into like chunks of 5 minutes or 2 chunks of 15 minutes or the last 30 minutes, or, 7.5 minutes, I'm being silly and specific, but 2 things that, will get you at least a minimum of 5 minutes per thing. And then you give that to your child, okay? And you mix it up, because one day they might not want to do this. Another day you might not have that. That's why I want you to have options. And in that, was it third grade? So in third grade, reading starts to ramp up. Now you're going from learning to read to reading to learn. Math starts to amp up too. You start to hit fractions and long division and all of those things where you like multiple the keys, the key wrap-ups. That's something independent that they can do on their own. But what you want to do, go back to the basics. You write something out. Well, you have them write it. You do it together. Or type it up in some kind of silly little font. And don't put time on it, because we don't want to be tied to time or a clock. But it's a routine. Okay, when mom goes to work with kinder, these are the 3 things you're doing in any order that you want. 1, go get a snack. Have that snack ready if you want them to have a snack. 2, watch this cool brain pop video, or this playlist on YouTube, or some multimedia thing that's educational, okay? And then if you have a game, keep that game in a place where it's easy to get access to. You can do that. I like math dice games because they can do that on their own. For multiplication, this is perfect, because as a matter of fact, I have it used to be free, but I have it on my shop for $1. But I have multiplication games, and on one sheet I have 3 different games, and each little game buys you 5 minutes. I was very intentional with that, because you can have them do, if you need just 5 minutes, tell them just pick 1 game. If you need 10 minutes, only pick 2 games. If you need a whole bunch of time, so you do this whole worksheet, and I got something for you afterward. And model it, do it with them first, okay? This is all the prep for your arsenal. You got to model it and do it with them a couple of times so they know where to go to get it. They know how to use it, okay? And how to put it away so you can find it when they're done with it. That's important. That's key. So all of those things. I like dice games because all you need is a little dice and a piece of paper. You got to print that stuff out. That's why I say build that arsenal. Print out a couple of copies. Ziploc bag, any pieces that they need. Keep it in a little shoe box, a Target bag, whatever you can find. If it's something that's like a playlist, like a YouTube playlist of videos or something like that, keep that queued up. Make it a bookmark on your bookmark bar. I don't know if you have Windows or Mac, just somewhere where you have a folder and have those. Just have 3 or 4 videos, or at least 30 minutes of time, okay? But I would put like a number of videos so you have something to kind of keep you going. Something maybe in science, something I would do crash course. That's a good one. Something for history, something for science, something a little math, a fun math video, a cartoon. Hopefully let them all be animation based. Watch them first from beginning to end so you don't have any surprises, and then put those in. If you can find the ones that have songs embedded with it, School of Rock videos, you can't go wrong. I have a list. It's about 6 or 7 pages long. School of Rock has, so people just know the couple of videos from School of Rock. They have a whole bunch of ways that they teach. They do actually teach math too. So make that list, okay? And then you're ready to go into battle and deal with little kinder while 3rd grader is learning, and give them some time to be messy with it and get it right, and then to keep coming back to you. But if you're locked and solid with, print out the routine, print it out, have a countdown or something, laminate it if you need to, tape it somewhere on the desk, if they have a binder, a morning binder, wherever, put it in multiple places so they don't have any excuse, and just tell them, because when I ask you questions, where is this? How do I do this? Remember, it's right there. Look there. On your little routine thing, put where to find it, where to put things back, okay? I might give you, if I can find my old stuff, I don't throw anything away. I just got to find it. I can show you what I did with my kids, because my middle child's on the spectrum. I had to think logically about things, and I had to be visual with things, and I had to really think things through. So that's why I talk like that, because it made life so much easier. All right. Hope that helps. Let's see. We're using the videos for dimension math. Sorry, came in late. So if you go to, okay, Michelle's asking about videos for dimensions math. Now, there's only one place that I know of, unless you want to buy a class on OutSchool, because there are some classes for dimensions math. But if you go to SingaporeMathLive.com, I used to be on that when my oldest first started Singapore book 2 or book 3, level 2 or level 3. She uses the US edition. She uses she does dimensions, but I think she does dimensions 6th through 8th grade. I'll have to double check, but it's worth it to go to SingaporeMathLive.com, and she has the syllabus, the schedule for everything, and the first 3 weeks or the first 3 chapters are free. But she does videos. So if you're using Singapore and you really are shaky about teaching it, or you really don't want to teach it, this woman has recorded, and they're pre-recorded videos for every Singapore level. And now it's a little intensive. It's teacher intensive, because she has like almost a 45-minute every week video for the parent, and then there's the video for the child to watch. I recommend the videos for the teacher, because she's basically going over the stuff that's in the home instructor guide, how best to teach, although she's teaching, but she just has that one video for the week. She's giving you the parent video for you to help your child throughout the week. Okay. Some people don't watch it. Others do. I watched it. But that is video based, and she uses the US edition, and she does do dimensions, but I think that's only for 6th, 7th, and 8th, if I'm not mistaken. But y'all check that out. Okay. I bought my kids some wick sticks on Amazon, and while she is reading, she's creating a story using them. And she uses her journal to write and draw pictures in her notebook. Also, colossal questions. That's a really great way to start building independence, just being able to work by herself and keeping them engaged so you can, do something else. Okay. So I think, Jessica, you're on the right track. Definitely. And don't sleep on journaling. I know a lot of people that have sons didn't really get into that. My kids have tons of notebooks. They do a lot of drawing, and they do battles. I mean, one day I'm gonna have to show you all their workbooks, because they have my middle son, he's got like 15, 20 books. I'm not kidding. Just doodling. Because back when he was doing classes when he was younger, his way of taking a break was to draw. When he had to check out of class, he would have like 5 minutes that he can just sit and just draw in his notebooks or write. So that's pretty good. That's good, Jessica. Okay. Oh, hey, Lori. Hey, thank you for checking in on me. Oh, and thank you guys. I had about 8 or 9 of you that were like, girl, where are you? We missed you. I hope you're okay. Thank you for checking in on me. I really appreciate that. Someone noticed I was gone from YouTube. So great. So yeah. So Lori's in Illinois. See, busy bags, activities, sunshine, morning folders. Yes, those are all good for your kids when you need them to work independently and when you need the buy time. All right. I'm going to start wrapping this up, guys. Okay. Have you used CKLA? They have free unit study lessons for different grade levels. No, I haven't heard of CKLA. I'm not sure what that is, Jessica. All right. Okay. Just says they use core knowledge, science, and history for 3rd grade. I haven't tried the language arts program. Okay. Okay, so we are caught up on the comments. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for hanging in. I know it's a long video. Again, go to, I think it was my last video or the second to last video. And I'm giving this away for free, the Mega Homeschool Planner. And this will help you get organized, stay organized, right? And oh, this is the old one. The updated one is the download. This is the 2021. But this will help you, do what you need to do for your homeschool life, right? Your field trip planner. You'll see I use a lot of bright colors because I like bright colors. Okay. And I have things for elementary, middle school, and high school. Okay. Your curriculum budget per child or by subject. I'll just flip through this really quickly. This is free. I suggest, here's a little hint. I suggest you get this tonight because I am going to, I know I keep saying it. I am going to, this is the book reading log. I am going to bring my Patreon. I've actually had it up. I just never made it public. Attendance log if you need to keep attendance in your state. But I am going to start Patreon just so we can be, like, I want to post more stuff of my kids, grade and score tracker, but I don't want to do it in a public setting. So your daily lesson plan. Okay. So everything that you need, this is free, over 60 pages. And I show you how I fill it out. Okay. So you're not, you know, trying to figure out, well, I have all of this, but what do I do with it? And I have it for each day of the week. Okay. So this is free. If someone can go check the last video or the video before, that's Friday, and let me know if that link is there. Otherwise, I'll put it in this video. Get it today for free because once I introduce Patreon, maybe next week, I'm going to take it off and put it as a freebie for Patreon. Oh, that's Saturday. Because some of y'all homeschool Saturday and Sunday. So I put that in there. And then I have your weekly lesson plans by tabs. I have 8 tabs, an 8 subject tab, a 6 subject tab. Yeah. And then a 5 subject tab. And then your monthly calendar. Okay. Everything's in bright, bold color. Don't worry about it using up all your ink. You're going to need this. You can always make it black and white. I like color, though. It's easy to see. Now, I'll just show you some of these. Yeah. And then you have notes in the end. But all of this is free. So go grab this, download it, share it with your friends and family, and get it. And then I have notes in the back. Okay. So there you go. So this is free. It will always be free. Oh, I didn't go over the very beginning. And you have your table of contents. And then here is a description for everything that's in here. Okay. It tells you what it is and what it's for. So I know for new homeschoolers, all of these terms are really new to you. This goes over that. I also have the homeschool vision. Okay. And then I think I have one more. Oh, I have 2 homeschool visions. Because, you know, some people like to do it differently. And then I have, if you like to think of it as a different way, I have it like that. And then finally, I think this is the last one. Oh, no, it's not. Short-term goals. Now, I did a video on this. I think I took it down because I might have had some copyright music playing. Short-term goals. Someone was asking about fractions, stuff like that. You can put it down in there as a short-term goal. And then you have your long-term goals, okay? Long-term. And then I might have one more page in here. No, okay, we're back to the year at a glance. Okay, so, oh, I'm not done. I'm giving y'all a lot. I just realized this. And then birthdays, holidays, and events. And then finally, last page. I did it out of order, guys. Your unit study planners. I do have a video on unit study. How to put together a unit study is very comprehensive. If I do say so myself, it's very comprehensive. You will walk away knowing everything you need to know about a unit study planner. Okay. These are things I use myself. I use myself. Wait, let me make sure I got nothing on here that, okay. I use myself. Okay. I don't know why this, I did make a video on this. Yeah, because I was showing, this was last year. Yeah, I do use this. All right. This is like my demo copy. All right, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. And I will see you guys next week, definitely. I know I owe you guys a lot of videos, and I'll be catching up on them real soon. Okay. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in with me. I will see you. I'll put a post in the community section and let you know when I'm going live again. And I might have a poll up. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. I'll see you on the next live. I love you guys. And keep living that homeschool life. Oh, and do a girl a favor. Hit the like button to help me with the YouTube algorithm so it can be pushed out so more homeschool families can get this information. All right, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.